Hi, Dougherty Dolphins. It's me again, Miss Annie, and I'm here to teach you an art lesson called Imagination with Everyday Objects. The art style here is illustration and design, and the artist I want to introduce you to, his name is Christoph Niemmann. He was born in 1970 in West Germany. He's an illustrator, graphic designer. He's a children's book author. Since 2008, Niemmann has been writing and illustrating in the New York Times. So he's pretty darn famous. And he takes these everyday objects, and what he does is he puts it on a piece of paper and he turns it around and around and looks at it at different angles to try to see what he can imagine it to be that's different than what the object actually is. This one's one of my favorites. It's a fork that turned into a giraffe. And there's toilet paper that I would never have thought of that, but it's the barrel of a tank. That is pretty amazing. And a pair of scissors. He turned it into a woman sitting with her legs crossed, reading the paper. And this is an object we all have in our house. It's a comb. But he looked and looked and looked, and he decided to make it the front of a Rolls-Royce car. Niemmann said it's sometimes really hard to figure out how to change it into something else, so it takes a while, doesn't always just come to you. Like this card, he folded in half and turned it into a rug that this woman's hitting, which is how they used to clean them a long time ago. And this object I think everyone has in their house, at least I do. In fact, I'm using it right now. And he turned it into a mosquito. And this penny, he painted it into a comic strip of two pictures. And it's this poor boy who dropped his ice cream cone. And even a notebook just being curled, he saw that as being lips. For your project, I want you to look around your house and find something that you can draw around to make something totally different. So this is what I did. I knew I wanted to do something with my plants because I have a lot of plants. So I went out to my backyard and just cut a little piece of this bush that I had and got a piece of paper and decided to use a marker. So make sure you do this before you get started. Put your paper on top of some scrap paper or cardboard or magazine that you don't need anymore, just so that you don't ruin your table. And take your object and move it around and kind of look at it in different ways to see what it could be. So when I picked this, I had envisioned it to be maybe part of like a man's beard. But in looking at the shape, it doesn't really look like that. So I moved it around to see if it would open, and then I had my idea. So I am drawing with one hand because my other hand is holding my iPhone so I can record this. So it was a little bit hard to sketch because I had to use my arm to hold the paper still. So bear with me, I'm trying to sketch it out with a marker. But you probably tell what it is already. I saw it as this gown, this dress, because I've seen wedding gowns that they don't look like trees, but they look like feathers. And so I thought I'd turn it into a dress. So with anything that you do, make sure that you create a setting. So this woman can't be floating in the air, so I created the floor and gave it some shadow and I signed it. So when you're done, definitely sign it. And then when I had time, I went back and just added a little bit more detail to her hair and added a little bit more detail to her dress. And now it's your turn. I can't wait to see what you're going to create. Have fun.